me. I tell you, if it wasn't for the Lord, I wouldn't be here today. I tell you what, I'm thankful for salvation tonight.
Yes, sir.
And I tell you what, if you have a testimony or something, like I said yesterday, ask God before you leave home, Lord, let me do something for you tonight. And I'll tell you, He'll give you something to do.
Amen.
Amen. If you have your Bibles, you turn with me to Psalms chapter 1. I'll start reading in the first verse. Psalms chapter 1, verse 1. You get there, say amen.
Amen.
Psalm chapter 1, verse 1. It said, blessed is the man that walketh not in the counsel of the ungodly, nor standeth in the way of sinners, nor sitteth in the seat of scornful. But his delight is in the law of the Lord, and in his law doth he meditate day and night. And he shall be like a tree planted by the river of water, that bringeth forth his fruit in his season. His leaves also shall not wither, and whatsoever he doeth shall prosper. The ungodly are not so, but are like the chaff which the wind driveth away. Therefore the ungodly shall not stand in the judgment, nor the sinner in the congregation of the righteous. For the Lord knoweth the way of the righteous, but the way of the ungodly shall perish. Amen. And the thought we have on our heart tonight is the consequences of making the wrong decision. The consequences of making the wrong decision. You know, I begin to think about David over there, and I begin to think about how close he was to God, and how that he went up against the old big giant, and how he slew that giant and all. But you know, even David doing good, he got his eyes off the Lord and got him on Sheba. And you know, that's where the sin come in, is when he got his eyes off the Lord and he began to look at Bathsheba there. And you know, that's where we get wrong sometimes. Sometimes we may get off course a little bit. Now I'm going to tell you something. If we stay on that straight and narrow path, listen, everything will be all right, brother. Amen. Listen, old David right there, now he was lined up with God. I mean, he was right there with God, and God loved him. And just like us today, He loves us today. Amen. But you know, I'm glad that when we mess up, or just like David did, He didn't throw him away, He just started molding him again. Amen. Listen, we have to acknowledge that, hey, I've slipped up and I've done wrong. Right. The Bible said over in Romans 3:23, said, all have sinned and come short of the glory of God. Yeah. There's not a one of us here sitting here today that's perfect. Listen, we've all made mistakes in our life. Old David did when he looked upon Bathsheba there, and you know, the Bible said that he even had her husband to be killed, and that he even had a baby with her. And you know, the destruction right there, the consequences of sin was when the baby died. The baby was born and then died. But you know what David said? He said, I can't take that baby back, but I can go where it is. Amen. I'm glad tonight that we can go where that baby is tonight. Yeah. I'm glad that if we'll just follow Jesus and keep our eyes and stay focused on Him, everything will be all right. I want to tell you something tonight. Listen, in our church service tonight, if we'll just open up and let God have His way in our lives, listen, we'll see the church just blossom out and bloom. It said like a tree planted by the river of life. Listen, I'm going to tell you something today. We can be like that tree if we'll just do what God has us to do, and we can blossom out and let God have His way in our lives. Old David right there, now he was in a strange land too. When he was in sin there, he was in a strange land. And when I was backslid on the Lord, Brother Wayne, I was in a strange land. But I'm glad that when I got back, boy, I'm going to tell you something, I got back. Amen. And that's the same way with David tonight. He got back and he got right with God. And that's the same way with all of us tonight. Listen, I'm glad God don't throw you away. I'm glad He's right there to take you right back. Amen. But you know, let's look at another one now. Old Jonah over there. He decided in his heart, he said, God told him, He said, I want you to go down to Nineveh and I want you to preach to them people. But you know, here we're talking about the consequences of making the wrong decisions. Oh, Jonah right there, he decided in himself, he said, I'm not going down there and do that. He said, I'm going to get away from God. Listen, you can't get away from God. He knows where you are. He knows where you are tonight. And He knows where you'll be tomorrow night. Amen. Listen, He knows all about you. He knows about me. He knows about everybody. He knows if you're saved or he knows you're lost tonight. Praise the Lord. But listen, old Jonah, he decided, well, I'm just going to go on down here and I'm going to pay the fire and I'm going to go on down here and get away from God. The Bible said he went down there and he paid the fire and he got on that ship. And the Bible said he went down in the hinder part of that thing and went to sleep. He just went to sleep. And the Bible said that out there in the meadows and the winds and stuff began to come up, Brother Eddie. Listen, God had a plan for him and he was running from it. Amen. There's a lot of people tonight, they ain't getting the peace in their life because they're running from God. I remember when I was running from God. I remember when he was calling me to preach. I'd run and run and run. But sooner or later, I had to stop and I had to surrender. Amen. Listen, it gets to where you can't run no further, Brother Wayne. It gets to where you can't get no peace in your life. You'll do something. Amen. But old Jonah, he was fast asleep down there, and then men, they began to wonder, what's going on? What's wrong? And they went down there and they woke old Jonah up. And old Jonah said, it's me. It's me. I've done wrong. I've done wrong. And the Bible said that they took him up there. I'm kind of running through this kind of quick. You can look at it for yourself, old Jonah. But the Bible said they took him up there and said they cast him over. And said that God had made a big fish. Just swallow him up. You stop and think about it tonight. Now he was in that fish's belly for 3 days and 3 nights. The Bible tells us that he got humble down there and he got things fixed up. Amen. Listen, I'm glad tonight that if you're one of his, you'll get fixed up. Amen. You may run for a while, but you won't run too far. Amen. Old Jonah, he didn't go too far. The Bible said that he was down in that old. Can you imagine being in that fish's belly for 3 days and 3 nights? All that stink and all that stuff. The Bible said that when he cried out to the Lord and he got things fixed up, the Bible said the fish vomited him out on the dry ground over there and said he cut a trail. He got ready. He got ready to go. Amen. Same way with you and I tonight. When we get ready to go, listen, God will use us. Amen. When the church gets ready to go, God used the church. I remember back when I was a little boy, I remember when they was shouting all over the house, and I remember people being saved. What's happened, preacher? It's us. Amen. It's not God. He said, I've changed not. He said, I'm the same today, yesterday, forevermore. Listen, he never changes. He's the same God. Listen, we've got too dignified in our churches today. Listen, I'm going to tell you something today. He likes just a plain old simple person. Amen. Listen, he wants somebody he can use. Amen. Old Jonah, now he couldn't use Jonah until he got right. But when he got right, he could use old Jonah. Old Jonah went on down there and he preached to them people. But you know, he was still sorrowful in his heart. Because he wanted God to just destroy that bunch of people there. But I want to tell you something. God has got a plan for me. He had a plan for Jonah. He had a plan for David. And he's got a plan for us. Listen, there's consequences that we have to face when we do wrong in the Lord. Amen. Listen, and he'll get our attention. Amen. It may be on our backs looking up, but he'll get our attention. You know, a lot of people today, they've got in their mind, well, I'll just go to church and I'll sit there through the preaching and the singing and I'll go home and I've done my part. Come on, you go to church to worship God. Your work is out there in the world. That lost man is watching your life out there in the lost and dying world. You claim to be a Christian, and you're out there doing things of the world and going to church on Sunday. Listen, I'm going to tell you something. That ain't right. Amen. Listen, God to get your attention. Well, preacher, you talking to me tonight? Well, if you're doing these things, I'm talking to you. Amen. Listen, I'm going to tell you something tonight. God, He wants things straight and narrow. He wants us to be straight and narrow too. The Bible tells us in Matthew over in chapter 7, it said it's a straight and narrow way to get to heaven. That broad way leads us to destruction. Listen, and He knows then. And now in chapter 1, it says the Lord, number 1 in verse 7, it said the Lord is good. He's a stronghold in the day of trouble. And He knoweth them that trust in Him. He knows He knows that you're trusting in Him,
Yeah.
and He knows everything about you.
Yeah.
But old Jonah, he got things fixed up, and he went on down there, and he done what God had him to do.
Yeah.
But he was still sorrowful.
Yeah.
Listen,
Right.
there's a lot of people tonight that's still sorrowful.
Yeah.
Tonight. They're sad in their spirit. Listen, we ain't got to be. We're going, like Brother Stacy a while ago, he about got cranked up there. Listen, that's what God wants to see out of His people tonight. He wants us to get humble. He wants us to just turn loose and let God have His way in our life. But a lot of times we won't do it. A lot of times we just sit back and just let somebody else do it, Brother Ed.
Yeah.
Listen, God wants you. He wants me. He wants y'all. He wants us all to work together and do what God wants us to do. When we're needed together in Him, listen, we can see God do a work in our church. Amen.
That's the Lord.
A lot of people tonight, they talk about, well, we don't have very many people coming anymore. We don't have very many. Listen, I know what His Word said. He said, where there's 2 or 3 gathered together in His name, He said, I'll be in the midst. Amen. Listen, I'd rather have 12 or 13 that loves the Lord and wants to go to church than to have 85 that don't. Amen. Listen, I've been on both sides of the fence. I know them that don't want to. Amen. Them that don't want to give you a hard time. Amen. They'll give you trouble on every hand. But I'm glad I know the trouble solver. Amen. And He'll take care of the situation. Amen. Ain't you glad tonight? I'm glad tonight that God loves us and He saved us from a long time world. Ain't you glad tonight?
Yeah.
Praise the Lord. It's all about Jesus. It's all about Jesus.
Amen.
Praise the Lord. Let me get on so I know y'all are probably getting tired. Some of y'all got to go to work tomorrow. I don't, but I'm glad. Praise the Lord. Let us look at another one real quick. Old Daniel was there. Now these men that Daniel, they come against Daniel, and they make a decree. To make a long story short, you couldn't pray to no other God and none of this. But the Bible said they didn't stop old Daniel.
No, amen.
Old Daniel, he went up there and he opened his window and he prayed 3 times a day. He kept praying to God. And them men, they found it out, and they went to the king and had old Daniel throw it in the lion's den. But you know what? God was in the lion's den. Amen. The Bible said that old Daniel was in that lion's den and there was no hurt come to him. Said old king stayed up all night. He was worried about old Daniel. Instead he run down there the next morning and said, Daniel, you okay? He said, I'm all right. I'm all right. You can find that in Daniel chapter 6 over there. Listen, old Daniel, he said, I'm all right. You know what happened? Them men that come against Daniel, them and their families was thrown in the lion's den. And they was all eat up. You see what I'm saying? You better not mess with God's people. Amen. When you start messing with God's people, you're in trouble. Amen. But there's a lot of people tonight that's trying to run preachers down, that's trying to do their best. There's a lot of people tonight that's trying to run church people down, that's trying to do their best. Listen, I'm going to tell you the answer for that tonight. If you'll get down and get them tears on that altar, and you get humble before the Lord, listen, you won't have no more trouble. Amen. Listen, that's what it's all about tonight. Listen, there's not one of us no better than the other one tonight. Listen, there's a lot of preachers here tonight that's a lot better than I am. But listen, they don't have no more than I've got. Listen, I'm saved and they're saved and we're going home one day after a while. Praise the Lord. Ain't you glad? Boy, he told us over in 1 Corinthians chapter 2 and verse number 9. He said, but as is written, eyes have not seen or ears heard or entered in the heart of man what God has prepared for them that love Him. Listen, one day after a while, it's going to be all better for them that love Him. Praise the Lord. In Hebrews chapter 12, verse 1, it says, wherefore seeing we are compassed with so great a cloud of witnesses, let us lay aside the weight and the sin which do so easily beset us, and let us run with patience the race that is set before us. Listen, I'm going to tell you something tonight. It's not to the one that runs the fastest. It's the one that's consistent. Amen. Listen, I've seen some get on fire and they say they get saved. And you hear about them getting saved, and boy, they're firecracker for a little while. And then they just use that. Just to use that. How come, preacher? It's because they didn't get rooted in the ground.
That's right.
You got to get them roots way down there. Amen. I'm going to tell you something. There's some things that come against the Christian today.
Yeah.
You start pastoring the church and you'll find out what comes against you. Amen. Listen, and you better have a backbone like a strong. Amen. Because if you don't, you'll fall. Amen. But I'm glad if you'll stand there. Sometimes we just got to stand there and see the salvation of the Lord. Amen. Sometimes we ain't even got to say nothing. We just stand there and see the salvation of the Lord. Praise the Lord. Just let them talk on. Amen. Boy, y'all like that, didn't you? Praise the Lord. But listen, that's what it's all about tonight. It's about Jesus. It's about what He done on Calvary. That we could have life and have it more abundant. I've told you about these men in the Bible right here, about what happened when they sinned. I want you to look at one more. Old Judas. Old Judas. Now, he was with Jesus. He was with the 12. He acted like he was just one of them. He acted like he just loved the Lord. He just loved the Lord. But it wasn't long that Jesus found out that he was going to betray him. And the Bible said he did. He betrayed Jesus with a kiss. The Bible said that he sold Jesus out for 30 pieces of silver. I've heard people say, well, Judas, he went back and gave the money back and he got all right. Listen, he didn't either. The Bible said over there, it said it would have been better for that man not to ever been born. Listen, he's in hell tonight. Well, preacher, how can you say that? Listen, that's the only way you can look at it. I'm not a judge, but the Bible will judge you. It'll show you. It'll show you the fruits that you bear. Listen, he acted like he was on fire. He was right there with God, right there with Jesus, and he was his best friend. Look out. There's some of them out there in the church world today. There's some of them act like, oh, they're your best friend. And the next thing you know it, they're stabbing you in the back. Amen. I hate to say that, but it's true. Amen. You'll know them by the fruits they bear. Amen. That's why it's so important that we be a true follower of Christ and be the truth. Tell the truth. Amen. Jesus, everywhere he went, he done nothing but told the truth. He was a plain and simple man. And he went to that old rugged cross for you and I, that we could have life and have more life. Over in John chapter 3, we find that God so loved the world that he gave his only begotten Son. Listen, Jesus, when he was on that cross, God had to turn his eyes away from him because of sin that Jesus had on him. Listen, it was mine and your sin. It wasn't Jesus. Jesus was the perfect man. He was the only perfect man that ever walked this walk on this life. Listen, I'm glad that I'm not Brother Stacy. One of these days, brother, I'm going to get to see him too. It's not going to be with these eyes, but it'll be some eyes that I can see. Listen, one of these days, Jesus is going to be the light of that city. You stop and think about it. Well, it ain't even entered in the heart of man what God has prepared for them that love him. It's going to be something else, Brother Eddie, when he grabs him by the arm and by the hand, and he comes up through there and says, come here, son, let me show you what I've gone and prepared for you. He said in my Father's house are many mansions. He said if it were not true, I would have told you. He said, I go to prepare a place. There's a place he's went to prepare. Boy, if you ever, we was coming up the road, and I showed Brother Wayne that big old mansion house out there. How pretty it is. It's big and pretty, but it don't compare to what I've got on the other. Amen. I'm a poor boy here, but I'm rich over yonder. I'm a rich poor boy. One of these days, I'm going home. And boy, I tell you what, the way things are shaping up and getting, I just assume to go on. Amen. But we're going one day. That's why it's so important that we stay in the race. And we take our burdens and leave it with him. He said, come unto me, all you that labor and heavy laden, and I'll give you rest. Listen, there's no other rest but the Lord Jesus. Listen, I told you yesterday, I didn't have nothing new to give you. But the only thing I know to preach is Jesus. I know that to get the job done. Listen, there's a lot of people tonight. A lot of preachers don't preach Jesus. They preach about themselves for about 30 minutes, and maybe they might get around to Jesus. Listen, it's not about us. It's about what he did on the cross. Amen. Listen, if it wasn't for him in the cross, we'd have no hope. But I'm glad tonight I've got hope. Old Paul said over there, he said, if in this life only I had hope in Christ, I'd be all men. I'm glad I got hope beyond this life. Let me get a verse of song as far as I need to go. But listen, the consequences of making the wrong decision. Listen, you'll pay for it. When you do something wrong, you'll pay for it. There's things that I pay for because of things I didn't do. Listen, he'll bring them back to your mind. But listen, I'm glad tonight that he don't throw the play away. I'm glad he just starts working with it again. Praise the Lord. I like that little old song the kids always sing. He's still working on me. And he's still working on me, Brother Stacy. Listen, one day it's all going to be over. And we'll all get to go home. Oh, what a reunion that's going to be. How about Brother Stacy? I've got a lot of folks that's going on to be over here. And I'm waiting to go. I'm waiting to go. And one day I'm going. We'll all stand tonight.
Number 536,